It's like, just calm down, folks. Just calm down.
And welcome. It is the most exciting time of the year. We are in the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. This is our Best Boys Center Ice podcast playoff preview show. Myself, Barry Best, just below me here, is the man with everything to know. He knows everything. Carson Best below me. And Carson, we've been talking about hockey all season long. Where do we think people are going to wind up? Who's going to make the playoffs? Who isn't? Well, now we know, as right in front of us, is the playoff matchups for the first round of the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. We know for sure there will be a new champion, as the Florida
Yep.
Panthers did not make the playoffs. A couple of new teams in there from last year, some exciting teams that haven't tasted um, playoff hockey before, at least for a long time, and some teams who have been there and are expected to get back to the glory land, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and teams like the Edmonton Oilers trying to get to the Stanley Cup final for a third year in a row. But it all starts from zero, and it'll all start tomorrow night as the race for the greatest trophy in sports gets underway, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yep.
So
It's unbelievable. We're here already.
it,
We're here.
it's hard to believe we've been gearing up for this for a long time.
Well, it feels like opening night just happened.
Yeah, and we've got some great matchups
Mhm.
in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the matchups today. Now, our plan is every night of the playoffs, after each game is done, after all the games are done, I do a wrap up show at the end of the night. Sometimes it could be 11 o'clock at night. Sometimes it could be midnight. It all depends on when the last game is. And if there's a lot of some West Coast games, they could go
Till midnight.
past midnight like we've had in the past. But
Mhm.
we're going to be your one-stop shop for quick analysts of all the games. We have vested interest this year for the first time. Both of our teams are in the playoffs, the Penguins and the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll be watching those games closely, but we'll be watching the other games closely as well because there's some other um, matchups that I'm very excited to watch and to see, especially the Buffalo. I'm excited to see Buffalo back in it. I'm excited to see Pittsburgh back in it after a little bit of an absence. The Ducks are back in it. It's going to be an interest. It's going to be interesting for the Oilers not to play the LA Kings in the first round for the first time in 5 years. So we've got a lot of great scenarios, a lot of great games, and let's get started with games. Let's just get the brackets going on the East. We'll go top to bottom here as we have it on the East car.
Okay. You want to go or me?
All right. First matchup is that Buffalo Boston series. That goes back. I think the last time those teams met was in the late '80s in the playoffs. And back then it was a totally different game, totally different, style of play. But the Buffalo Sabres came out of nowhere. They came out of nowhere to take the Atlantic Division, and nobody saw this coming. We didn't see this coming. We thought they were going to be mediocre again. We thought they were going to miss the playoffs again. But that Buffalo team has done something with all those young talent, and they are a threat. They're a legitimate threat in
Mhm.
the Eastern Conference. Boston, I don't think is the same team as they have been in the past. I don't think I think Boston did great to get in, but I just don't see them really getting. I don't see them getting past Buffalo. And I want to say what I had texted you earlier. As I said, let me go to it. I said Buffalo over Boston in 6 games. That's what I'm thinking. Buffalo over Boston in 6 games. Also like to invite, let's see, want to make sure we invite people on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. I'm so excited to get to the playoffs. And I forgot to say, Jamie and Daryl are watching right now, are watching us. So if you have any comments, and I'm sure Beth is watching too. It doesn't come up on my screen that Beth is watching, but I know she's watching because she's in the next room, right, Beth? Yeah, see, Beth is watching in the next room. So thank you for watching. And if you want to join in with comments, please do so. Yeah, I'm thinking um, Buffalo over Boston in 6 in that one.
Yeah, I think Buffalo, that's just an incredible story. I mean, 15 seasons since the last time they've been in. A lot of the fans of that team have never seen them in the playoffs. They weren't alive the last time they were in the
Yeah.
playoffs. The game was completely different back then. I mean, 2011 was completely different than 2026 hockey. Uh, Now, that one's going to be a very interesting series because it is an old rivalry that goes back decades. That's kind of being renewed. But I do agree. I think Boston's just, I don't want to say not the same team, but not the same team. I mean, they've got a good team, but Jeremy Swayman, I feel like, has been on and off where he's been good and then not great, not as consistent as he used to be. Buffalo's just got the mojo right now. Like they've got something going on in that place that's just like they're really hard to beat. And I mean that place is going to be electric. Quebec Center is going to be going crazy, and I think Buffalo does win this series, but I actually think it goes 7. So I think they win Game 7 at Quebec at
Mhm.
home to move on. But it's going to be very close. I just there's just some magic going on right now in that city, and I mean for them to be not in the playoffs for so long and all of a sudden to win the division, I think they make somewhat of a little run in this thing.
Mhm. Yeah, it's going to be it's definitely a series to watch for sure.
Uh-huh.
Tampa Bay Montreal is the next one. I've got Montreal winning this one in 6. The Canadians are just the team that's on fire at the right time. I
Mhm.
think everybody's playing very well together. They're playing as a team. Tampa Bay maybe has a little bit more talent depth, but I think Montreal overall is going to take this one in 6. They're just the like I said, a hot team at the right time.
Yeah, I agree. I have Montreal winning in 6 too, but Um, I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are a very good team, but they're not unbeatable. And Montreal has found their game. They look like a legit team. Not like they did before, but they really have proven themselves this year for why they're in. And I think that it doesn't matter whether they play on the road or at home. They've got the swagger that they're good to go. It's their time. And I think the Lightning, while very good, are not unbeatable, and I think the Habs are going to be able to beat them with their speed and how quickly they can play. And Tampa's going to have to be chasing that a little bit. At the same time, Montreal's going to have to keep down Kucherov and so they see what they can do with him. But I think that Montreal wins in 6 as well. Just another one of those stories that they just got the right stuff going. They've got the right mix of players, the right passion. Obviously, that crowd's probably the best one in all of them. The teams left in Bell Center. It's going to
Mhm.
be a fun series. It's very exciting, probably a lot of goal scoring, but I do think that Montreal is going to win. I also think Vasilevsky, he's still a good goalie, but he's not prime Vasilevsky anymore. And I could be wrong, but I think that Montreal is going to be able to get through that and uh, you just find a way out of it, and that's it. And I think grind it out and get it done, but it's going to be a fun series. But I do have Montreal.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Canadians winning that one, I think, in 6 games. Then we moved Carolina over Ottawa. That's the only one that's pretty much a. I don't think Ottawa has much of a chance. As good as as much as Ottawa's fought to get to where they are, Carolina's just too good. Ottawa won 1 game at home, but Carolina should do it in 5. And the game that they lose is just Carolina just kind of like beating themselves. I don't think um, there's not too many teams that can beat Carolina right now
Yeah.
besides themselves. Ottawa will put up a little bit of a fight, but not much. I'm giving it Carolina in 5. Ottawa is just not quite there yet. We always seem to say that about the Senators. Not quite there yet, but they've just got the unluck of the draw of having Carolina as the first team you got to play in the first round. So Carolina in 5 over Ottawa on that one.
Yep. Like I said last year, the Carolina Hurricanes are a very good early playoff team. The way they play just works well for the first couple rounds, and yeah, I have them winning as well. But I think Ottawa's going to put up a fight. It's not going to be easy. Ottawa's really clawed themselves in it the last little bit, and they've really been on a heater to make it in. They're going to be playing really well. Carolina's going to have to be a bit careful, but I think Carolina defensively is just so structured. It's hard. It's hard to get past that at the beginning. It really is because you'll notice earlier on in the playoffs, there's a lot more goal scoring as you get in the beginning, and then as it keeps going, the goal scoring kind of goes down. But Carolina, I think, is going to be able to wear them down a little bit, especially the fast guys from Ottawa, the young guys, the big guys. Now, the only concern I think you have if you're Carolina is their goaltending really hasn't been amazing this year. They've kind of been below average, but they've got a good defensive team that they don't really have to worry about it. That's where I think Ottawa could catch them slipping a little bit, and for that, I think I have them winning. I had Carolina winning in 6 games. Uh, for the sake of uh, the matchups, it'd be cool to see Ottawa win, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, it's going to be tight, it's going to be close, but just too defensively structured. It's hard to beat that team. They are a really good team, and again, I've mentioned it before. The referees, how are they going to approach Brendan Moore in the series? Not to make any blame, but he's intimidating. He gets on him. He yells at him. He screams at him like when they screw up, and that can give him some makeup calls. But it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see it. But I do have Carolina winning. I put in 5 on my bracket, but I think 6 is more reasonable. I think Ottawa's going to be able to get a couple games.
And then the Battle of Pennsylvania.
Oh my!
It's
I
been a
think I
while
think
since.
this is I think as much as the Dallas Minnesota series is going to, this one has a good storyline
Mhm.
because of the history.
No,
I think
and
out of all the
it's
series, this one has the most history out of all 8 of them.
it's nice to seeing the Penguin in the mix here
Yeah.
in the emblems. The Pittsburgh Penguins back in it against the Philadelphia Flyers. Again, Pittsburgh, they were close the last couple of years, but this year was it just right from the start. We could tell right from the start that Pittsburgh had something to this year. They were going to make the playoffs this year. As one of the teams that you think, okay, this is a team of destiny. It's just not okay. They're going to be good the first half of the season, the first
Mhm.
quarter of the season. They were good all season. They were, yeah,
Yeah.
had some rough spots, but every team does.
They were consistent for the most part. They really were.
But the Penguins are back. The goaltending trade with the Edmonton Oilers definitely worked for them. I think Stu is, he's had some Stu type games, but he's had some really good games too. I think the Penguins with big three, with Crosby, with Letang, and with Gino. I think those are the guys that they want to win this for these
Mhm.
guys.
So bad.
It's these guys that is driving this team, and they got some young players that you've talked about all season long that have come out of nowhere. Penguins wound up second in the Metro Division. Nobody really, honestly, Carson, nobody really thought that they were going to do that well in the Metro.
There were 31 teams that were competing to make a spot this year, and the Penguins weren't one of those teams. They were the only team that wasn't supposed to be competing for anything.
Yeah.
So
But and then you get Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, a in-state rivalry. I just giving the nod to Pittsburgh on this one, not because of the Penguins. I'm giving Pittsburgh in 6 over Philly. I just think with the 3 big guys, the way that the team has come together, they're just and Carlson's playing great. I just think the Penguins have got this over Philly. Philly will win a couple of games, but Pittsburgh's going to take this one in 6. I'm gonna let you go on this one because it's been a while for you
yeah,
before you can talk about the
well,
Penguins in the
yeah,
playoff.
I'm very excited. It's still weird to see them in the in the bracket. I'm not gonna lie. Like I look at the bracket, I'm like, oh my god, they're actually there. But yeah, this is a rivalry that goes back. Um, they haven't played each other in the playoffs since 2018, but this is a heightened rivalry because the teams already hated each other well before when they first were both in the league together. Pitts got in the league in '67, and the Flyers got in the '70s or in the '60s, I should say. They came in at the same time, just about, and then the Flyers ended up winning a couple cups right away. But uh, then Sid joined the team, and that changed the trajectory of the rivalry. That the fans are bonkers in Philly. Like, they go crazy anytime he's on the ice. Anytime they're booing him, you can't not wear orange in that arena if you're a visiting fan. We know Philly sports fans are a different breed, and this is not going to be any different this series. The energy is going to be crazy. Obviously, the faces are a lot different. Obviously, there's still three big guys, but the guys around them are a lot different. And for Philly, a lot of the guys from that old rivalry in the 20 teens aren't really there anymore. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a fun series. Where I think the difference lies in this, because I do think that the Flyers have a little bit of an advantage in the goaltending, but special teams is where the Penguins absolutely have the advantage and need to play that to their strengths, because they have the sixth ranked penalty kill, seventh ranked power play, and the Flyers are bottom four in both of those categories. So the Penguins got to take advantage of that. The Flyers are also, I believe, one of the worst teams as far as shots allowed every game, but their goaltending has been really good and their shots for have been pretty good. But I think just the Penguins right now have played really well. The Flyers have played well too, and on a heater to get in. But I look at the teams, and I think the Penguins just have a little bit of a deeper team as far as scoring is concerned. They get goal scoring from all four lines. They don't have to necessarily rely on the big guys to do it. However, those guys do play well against them. Track records do tell me that Pittsburgh is going to win, but obviously, my opinion, I'm always going to say the Penguins win, and I do think that they get it in 6 games. It's going to be a tight series. I think this is going to be like the 2012 series where there's just a bunch of goals. I think this has a making for a crazy amount of goals. Both franchises haven't been in the playoffs in a while. The Flyers fans haven't seen playoffs since 2018. The Penguins since 2022. It's going to be exciting, but I think the Penguins have got a little bit of a better overall team, and I mean, it's hard to deny Sid playing the way he does against the Flyers. He kills them. It's what he does. It's what he's been doing. But nonetheless, they're playing a tough team, and they can't put their guard down against the Flyers, because that's a team that can make you pay pretty quickly. But I think the Penguins win in 6 games.
Yep, I agree. So there's your eastern side. That's the eastern side. Now we'll go over to the west, and it's
Do you want me to take the lead on this one, since you'll be going first for the Oilers?
yeah. So we'll start from
Okay, top to
top,
bottom.
top and go down.
So you can't
So
probably.
we
I don't know
got
if you can.
the
Do you
first.
want me to? I can go first on this one, because then I'll be able to introduce your series at the end, and
Okay.
you can talk about it like I did.
That'll work.
But top to bottom, so you got a different matchup this year. Normally it's LA playing Edmonton, but not this year. Colorado gets to play the LA Kings in the first round. The Kings, kudos to them, held their spot and got in. I mean, they were out of it for a little bit, but they clawed back in and got it. But unfortunately, I don't really see this being much of a challenge for Colorado. I mean, they've been killing everybody all season long, and I think that their best hockey is just yet to come. I think they beat the Kings in 5. I think the Kings get one win at home, simply for the nostalgia of Kopitar being his last season, but I just do not see the Kings having at all the team to beat the Avalanche right now. And so I think the Avs win in 5. That they just got a loaded team. Their best games are yet to come. It's going to be that's a matchup to watch, for the reason of the Avalanche being the Avalanche. I think the Kings just this year don't look as fast, or as they just look kind of eh. Nothing really excites me when I watch the Kings. Like, they're just kind of there. They're a decent team, but I can't see anybody stop. I can't see them stopping the Avalanche. No way. Not in the first round.
No, I agree. It's weird not seeing the Kings against the
I
Oilers.
know.
And it was up until last night. It could have been a possibility that the Kings could have played the Oilers in the first round. But I just don't see the Kings doing anything really against Colorado. I'm giving them a game too. I'm giving them. It's going to be in 5. I want to thank Sherry and Tim are also watching along with Beth and Jamie. I just give Colorado's just too tough. I watched them play again last night. I've watched them play the last couple of nights. I watched them play against the Oilers. It was a great game against the Oilers, a goaltenders battle. And then last night, Colorado played the Kraken, and when they wanted it, that's one of those teams when they want to take over, they just take over.
Well, the only thing for the Avalanche that I don't even want to say have to worry about, but they need to improve upon for sure, is their power play. As crazy as that sounds, their power play has been
at the
dreadful.
bottom of the league. Yeah,
It's crazy. But regardless, yeah, Avs in 5. I think we both agree on that.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one. This is going to be a very fun series, Dallas and Minnesota. Um, so the Minnesota Wild, this is their best chance. They got Quinn Hughes, the big fish, during the season in a trade with Vancouver. They've had a really good season. Kaprizov's played well. Uh, all up and down the lineup has been pretty good. Their defense has been good. They're a really legit team. And it's like we said, it's unfortunate that one of those teams has to go home in the first round because they both deserve to advance. But I just think the playoff experience of the Dallas Stars is going to carry them over and win in 7 games. I think they win in 7 games. It's that's a hard building to play in Dallas. Otter's got to be a little bit better, but I think he's going to show up for the occasion. Their goal scoring, I don't see them having a problem with that, but it's going to be a very intense series. We already saw a taste of it when they played each other last week. I mean, very physical, a good amount of goals. It's going to be fun, but I do think Dallas wins just off of that playoff experience that they have that Minnesota really does not carry
Mhm.
at all.
Yeah. I agree with you, but it all is up to Otter. If Otter's going to have a stinker of a series, Minnesota will win this series. It's
Yep.
really Jake Ottinger. If he
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
down,
that's pretty much because I think special teams wise, both teams are lethal on the power play, and penalty kill wise, they're both good teams.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's going to be up to Otter because we've seen him at his best, which is one of the hardest goalies to beat, and we've seen him at his worst, where he just looks human.
Yeah.
But
So
I mean, it's going to be fun.
I'm going on this one, the Stars over the Wild in 6. That I'm was leaning towards 7, but I just think the Stars, if they get a jump on Minnesota right away, it's going to be hard for the Wild to come back and win like 2, 3, 4 in a row.
Yep,
So I'm taking the Stars, but again, it all, like you said, it all
up to
depends
Otter.
on Water and how he plays
Yep,
between the pipes. Everything else is pretty solid for Dallas.
yep, I agree.
Um, so that's that's where we go. Now we move on to the last
At
two.
Yep, Vegas and Utah is the next one, and then we'll go to Dad's favorite series of them all. Uh, Vegas and Utah. This one, I think, out of all of them, is the most intriguing one for me. As much as I would say, okay, the nostalgia of the Battle of Pennsylvania, Dallas and Minnesota, I mean, this one has the most intrigue because Utah's first time in the playoffs in their franchise history. Obviously, Utah became Utah a couple years ago when they moved from Arizona. But this is the first time Salt Lake City has gotten playoff hockey, and that's going to be very interesting. Meanwhile, Vegas, the juggernaut, I mean, they won a Stanley Cup a couple years ago. They've been really good in the playoffs. It's going to be an intense series, but I have Utah upsetting them and winning. I think Utah wins this series. I believe I put it in 6 games. I think that Vegas just doesn't look the same as normal Vegas. They just kind of look a bit off. And I think Utah has the right amount of swagger just to get past them. And the amount of youth on that team that they really have, and some playoff experience. They've got many guys in there that have won the cup. They know what it takes to get there. And I think Utah is going to win in 6 games. And Aiden Hill's also not been very great, I feel like, this year. And I think Utah's got the offensive capabilities to really take that series over and just run them over. And I think they're going to run them over. I think they win in 6 games. That is my first upset, I think, out of them all. I have Utah upsetting Vegas.
Yeah, that's my upset. I've got Utah over Vegas in 7. It's going to come down to the 7th game. They're going to win it in Vegas. It's going
Whoa.
to
In
be
Vegas.
in Vegas.
Whoa. Wow. Okay.
I guess the team, to me, when we got down to the last couple of games and thinking what playoff scenarios, that's the team I didn't want the Oilers to play
Yeah, that
because
would have been a
Utah
crazy
is
matchup.
such a good team against them. They match up really well against them, and I think they match up really well against Vegas. Vegas is just not the Las Vegas. Vegas got okay. Vegas won the Pacific with the last. I think they won 5 of their last 6, 7 games or whatever it was to get to the. Okay, great. But before that, before the coaching change with Torch being behind the bench, they were floundering. They were
Th-
looking at a wild card spot.
That's where the difference could be made, though, is that Torts does have that playoff experience versus Tyranny for Utah really doesn't. And I think
Yeah,
that's where maybe the mind games can kind of be played a little bit to their advantage. But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Utah's just got it going.
But of all the series, that's the upset is
Yep.
Utah over Vegas in 7. And when you look at it on paper, it's an upset, but I don't think it really would be an upset
Because
because
that's a good
Utah
team.
is legit. I think Utah is going to be one of the teams of the future, like Anaheim, like Buffalo. They're going to be the teams that are
Yeah.
going to start taking over
Yep.
the reins from the teams that have been there before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's going to
give
be an
the edge
interesting
on
series.
this one to the Mammoth over Vegas in 7.
Yep.
Now,
Well, that's going to be a good series, of course. But now we'll go to the one that I know you're looking forward to. I've had my turn. Now it's yours. A new series, one we haven't seen, I think, since 2017, was Anaheim and Edmonton. That's going to be a very fun series. Obviously, we know the Oilers are Oilers. Been to the Cup Finals the last 2 years, made the playoffs a bunch recently. The Ducks haven't. The Ducks had this resurgence this season where they just started off really good and kind of fell off a little bit at the end of the season, but they were high enough ahead to make the playoffs, and very rightfully so. It's going to be fun to see playoff hockey back at the pond again. Those fans are really good fans, and in an unlikely spot of California, of course. It's going to be a fun series. It'll be cool to see those orange jerseys in the playoffs. They were used to them. Sorry, but those ugly duck foot ones from a couple years ago just didn't look right. But yeah, it's going to be an intense series. I mean, these two teams haven't played each other in a while. They don't like each other. Obviously, they're in the same division. Uh, the Ducks are mad at the Oilers. They took away home ice from them, and it was one of those things that came down to the last day. We didn't know which team was going to play who because of how close it was. But I think McDavid's McDavid. That's a good story. Draisaitl coming back. Obviously, we know the young guys of the Ducks. That's going to be key for them. But I think that this series, I've got Anaheim winning in 4. I'm just kidding.
no,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, man, no, I got
No,
four.
I think the experience of the Oilers gets them through the series. I think they win in 6. I mean, that's going to be a competitive series. It's going to be close, but I think that the Oilers have found their groove a little bit at the end. Now, much like we said for Dallas, it's going to be up to the goaltending they get
Mhm.
because Anaheim is a team we know can fill the net. They can. They can score, and whoever it's playing, whether it's Ingram or Jory, which I think it's going to probably be Ingram, got to be ready because if you can't be they can't be letting in 5 a game now. That's done. That part of their season's over with. They've got to be ready because the Ducks have proven why they're in. They're a good team, and they're not going to really surprise anybody because of how good they already are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Edmonton wins in 6. They have McDavid. They have Draisaitl coming back. Hyman's come back. The resurgence of some other depth guys like Savoy and Roslovic, Kapanen, Podkolzin, and that's going to carry them through. Obviously, their power play is going to be important in this series and their penalty kill. But the big difference is just the goaltending. I mean, it could very easily switch from Edmonton in 6 to Anaheim in 6 if the goaltending is not there for
Yeah.
Edmonton.
Again, yeah, I totally agree. Goaltending is going to be key for the Oilers. This is 7 years in a row in the playoffs. They made Stanley Cup final last 2 years. So it's going to be awfully hard to get back to the Stanley Cup final for a third year in a row,
Mhm.
especially with the teams that are out west. But
Yeah,
the Oilers are playing great right now. They're playing their best hockey. No Draisaitl for the last 15 games. No Hyman really for
15
the last.
games. Wow, I
Yeah,
forgot it
no,
was that long.
yeah, no. Hyman's was out for about 10 games until last night. But you get the resurgence of Matt Savoy. You want to talk about a player that came out of absolutely nowhere. It was Matt Savoy. He had a hat trick last night, and first ever hat trick. He's playing on the line with Connor McDavid, and I just think he's gelling really well with McDavid. And if it's Hyman or if it's Ryan Nugent Hopkins, I think guys like Colson, like you mentioned, has really come into play. They were trying so hard to get his 20th last night. And then and I think the defense as a whole, since the trade deadline, has improved 100%. Connor Murphy has really solidified the defense. Him
Yeah,
and Nursey are the best
there were some
few.
good rants about Nursey a couple years ago.
Yeah,
That's
we
for
had some
sure.
good. We had some really good rats about
No,
Nursey, but
not we. You.
yeah, me. And I just think that they're a great duo. I think as a team, the team defense has picked it up so much.
Yes, it
You
has.
look at
They really have.
you look at the goal. I think there was a stat they were talking about on last night's game. In the last, I don't know, 15 games or so, the Oilers have the third best goals
Goals
against
against.
average. So
Yep.
it's like their defensive tightening up. That's what you need if you're going to make it and you're going to win the Stanley Cup. You got to have
Good
great
defense.
defense. You got to have goaltending, and of course, you got to have offense. We know the Oilers have offense. Draisaitl is going to be coming back. He's going to be rested, which is scary for the other team because well rested Draisaitl, and it may take him a game or two to get back into game condition, but I'm not sure if he's going to go in game one or not still. But then, I think they're going to hold that right close to the vest right up until
Yeah.
game time.
Well, the good thing is that game one for y'all is until Monday, so there's plenty of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun series. Obviously, we've gone over all 8 of these matchups now, and like we said at the beginning, the fun all starts tomorrow. We've got a good triple header tomorrow to open it up for the playoffs. First off, you've got Carolina playing against Ottawa in Raleigh. That game tomorrow is at 3 o'clock Eastern, so 2 o'clock Central tomorrow. And then the middle of that triple header, you go to Dallas for Minnesota at Dallas at 4:30 East or Central. That's going to be a very good game. And then finally the nightcap, which I'm very excited about the time slot. I was hoping they got that time slot. I didn't want the 2 o'clock game, and rightfully so. They put the Battle of Pennsylvania at 7 o'clock tomorrow Central, 8 Eastern, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. So we've got a very good schedule tomorrow to open it up. Equally in their own rights, all those games are going to be good because we know the crowd in Raleigh is going to be crazy tomorrow. Dallas and Minnesota, I think, is going to be a repeat of the game that happened last week, where it's just going to be very physical and nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, you go to Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, which is again another level of nasty. So I think this is a good opening day for the playoffs for sure. But it's going to be a wild ride. Obviously, it all starts tomorrow. It's just crazy to think how fast this season went, but we'll be on updating, of course, throughout the series and how they're going, and maybe some things that are different. That's what makes the playoffs fun. Is sometimes these brackets we do are completely wrong. Our opinions are really not correct. That's what makes it kind of fun. Is like you don't know what the story is going to be. There's so many good stories that could happen out of these 16 teams. I can name one from just about every team. That's what makes it fun. So I think out of this weekend, taking my bias out of the game I'm looking forward to, I think out of this weekend, so there's 7 games from Saturday to Sunday, I am definitely looking forward the most to Buffalo-Boston.
Yeah.
First playoff game in Buffalo in 15 years. That crowd's going to be going bonkers. I imagine they'll have some of the Bills there. It's going to be a fun game, but a fun hockey weekend. Definitely will be very hard to get up off the couch.
Yeah. And I'm, of course, like you, the Oilers don't play till Monday night. It's game one.
But rightfully so because of that. You guys just both teams just finished playing last night, so rightfully so.
But I'm looking forward to Buffalo-Boston. I'm looking forward to hearing what it's going to be like in Buffalo.
Oh, that crowd pop on that first goal.
Yeah, it's going to be.
That roof might come off. That roof might come off.
It's going to be crazy, but it's going to be a couple of months of just some excellent hockey, excellent playoff type hockey. You look around right now. The NBA is getting ready to start their playoffs. They've already started with the in play. There's and around here, Carson and I are from San Antonio, so the Spurs. A lot of buzz about the Spurs this year. Getting back to the glory days. But really, when you take a look at the two between hockey and basketball, most people are going, hockey is the way to go. It's just an exciting. It's
an exciting tournament.
Everybody wants to watch. Everybody is intrigued by the Stanley Cup, the trophy itself, and winning it. And it's a very emotional thing for a lot of young people, young Canadians, young Americans, young people, hockey players growing up. That's what you want to do. Yep. You want to win the Stanley Cup. And it all starts here tomorrow night with the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. And it's going to be wild ride. Like I said, new champion this year. And
you've got this year, I think you've got, let me count them real quick. You've got 6 new teams in the playoffs this year.
Yeah. So some new blood, and it's that turnover, and I think you're going to see some teams like Edmonton, and see teams like Carolina and Dallas, Colorado. This is their shot. Might be their lot, because now these young teams are coming up, and it's going to be harder for them to get into that window of winning. But that's what's great about the playoffs. It's like we're down to it's anybody
We're
now.
down to it. Yep.
It's everybody's at zero. Everybody's at the same mark. You
Yep.
know, you have a bad, it's here in the regular season. If you have a bad game, you get the next game. But here you
Not
have a
this.
bad game and you're already behind the 8 ball. So you got to be right on top of your game. You
Yep.
can't let up for six. You got to play a 60-minute game. You can't play half the game, and it's just going to be very exciting. And we're going to be here all the way through tomorrow night after the Penguins game,
Yeah.
after the Penguins and Philly game.
That's weird that that's the nightcap.
Yeah, we'll be on. We'll be on. We're probably looking at 10:30, 11 o'clock, maybe something like that. But we'll keep you updated, and then just basically know that after the last game, we'll probably be on within a half hour of the last game,
Yep.
just so we can get things set up and whatnot. And then you can join us as well here on the Best Boys Center Ice podcast. Well, we're ready to go, Carson. I
We're
got
ready.
the playoff beard started.
I know I
did the last
shaved mine off
shave.
the other day. I started from scratch, so we'll see
Yeah.
how big how
I
large it gets.
did the last shave today, so we got the playoff beard going,
Yeah.
and we'll see what we look like in a couple of months when we get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
But again, this we'll be going to be on every night now. There may be times where something happens or whatever, like we had a power outage. I think
We had a couple times last year where we just moved it up a
we
little
couldn't
bit.
do, but we're going to be on pretty much every night after all the games are done to wrap it up. So you want to find out how everything, if you were busy all day, all you got to do is join us for the podcast each night, and
Yep.
we'll give you in-depth look at how where things stand as far as the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs are concerned. It's the Best Boys Center Ice podcast on Facebook and on YouTube. Again, this has been our preview show. Thanks, Carson. Again, great stuff. I love the graphics. It's a lot of it is kind of like old school graphics. I like that. And let's just get this thing started.
Go.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Some people say that's Christmas. We think it's the NHL playoffs.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it. I feel sorry for our significant others because they're going to have 2 months now of us going just talking hockey, talking hockey, talking hockey every day. But the good thing about it is both of them love hockey. So
Yeah.
we're all good there. So if you have any comments, please let us know through our Facebook and our TikToks. And we're gonna get this thing going,
Yep.
Carson.
Let's do it.
It's off and running.
Yep.
And in the meantime, and in between time, everybody have a great hockey night.